All right, new at 6, 19 Investigates digging deeper into a case involving a former Summit County deputy fired for having sex with an inmate.
Yeah, well, she is the focus of a criminal investigation, and now we're learning the inmate filed a rape complaint against her more than a year after that incident happened.
All right, 19 Investigator Mike Mason is breaking this story tonight.
We generally don't identify people who claim to be victims of rape, but tonight we're making an exception. He feels the sheriff's office hasn't properly investigated his complaint, despite federal laws that protect him as an inmate. In July of 2022, Jordan Schwertner was arrested on drug charges and serving time at the Summit County Jail. 3 months later, Schwertner says he began flirting with now former deputy April Woodside.
I told her I liked her. I wanted her to be my girl, and that's how it went down.
19 Investigates recorded a phone call with Schwertner, who's currently at the Northeast Ohio Correctional Facility in Youngstown. Records show he and Woodside texted each other more than 750 times in 1 month. They also spoke on the phone.
I told her, let me get a phone number. I got a phone number for her. I started to call her, and then everything went from there.
According to reports, Woodside texted Schwertner these risque photos of herself. The two talked about marriage. Woodside even sent Schwertner pictures of a pricey ring she had picked out.
I bought her a wedding ring for $6 grand.
You bought it?
I bought from inside the jail.
19 Investigates obtained audio recordings of internal affairs questioning Woodside about her relationship with Schwertner.
We had intercourse.
You had intercourse?
Yes.
Where did that take place?
In the cell.
Ohio law states it's a third-degree felony for jail staff to have sex with inmates. SCSO says it launched a criminal investigation into this 2 years ago, and it's still ongoing. So far, no charges have been filed. However, Woodside was fired, and Schwertner says he never heard from her again. 8 months later, in June of 2023, Schwertner says he filed a rape complaint against Woodside, claiming that, as an inmate, he wasn't able to consent to sex.
There's no consent in there. I have no consent to give. I'm a ward of the state. I'm traumatized by this.
Congress passed the Prison Rape Elimination Act, or PREA, back in 2003. It was designed to protect prisoners from being sexually assaulted by staff and other inmates. We questioned SCSO about Schwertner's complaint. They told us the PREA criminal complaint is currently under investigation and not completed. The federal PREA statute states the investigating agency has 90 days to issue a final determination on whether the complaint is credible. Schwertner says detectives interviewed him once after he filed his complaint 16 months ago, then he never heard back.
You're the first investigator to follow up. Obviously, that they don't care about our safety and our well-being as inmates and prisoners.
19 Investigates questioned SCSO about why the investigation is taking so long, but they won't comment on open cases. Meanwhile, Schwertner feels the scales of justice are stacked against him.
I'm traumatized. I'm scared. I'm in prison right now doing time. And I'm around a whole bunch of people that could be doing the same thing to me that she did to me.
We tried contacting Woodside, but she hasn't commented. We also reached out to the Department of Justice. They say someone will get back to us. We'll, of course, keep you posted. Mike Mason, 19 News.
You're 19.